Welcome back to Threshold City. This is Shadows of the Night by Raven Knight. Chapter 6. Node Map. The city looks different when you stop chasing blood and start chasing lines. Liam secured us a back room at the precinct under the excuse of pattern analysis. No uniforms, no chatter. Just a table, a wall-mounted map, and bad coffee. I stood in front of the city grid. Streetlights and murders made more sense when you ignored the streets. First victim, Liam said, tapping a pen against the board. Downtown alley. I marked it. Second, he continued, adjacent to your place. I marked that too. 2 points. On their own? Noise. I drew a straight line between them. It didn't follow roads. It cut through buildings, through blocks, through history. Liam watched in silence. You're guessing, he said finally. No. I grabbed a ruler from the desk. I'm confirming. I extended the line. 3 blocks north of the first murder, 2 blocks south of the second. It intersected something old. I felt it in my teeth. That building, I said. What building? He leaned closer. City Archive, he read. Pre-war structure. Renovated. Before that? He pulled files up on his tablet. Late 1800s foundation. Underground utility tunnels sealed in the 50s. I nodded slowly. They're not just picking intersections, I said. They're triangulating. Toward what? I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The line cut through my neighborhood. Not directly through my apartment, close enough to matter. Liam saw it too. His jaw tightened. You live on this line. I live near it. That's not better. No, I agreed. He looked at the map again. Why downtown first? He asked. To test range without proximity interference. And now? Now they're tightening radius. Silence. He set the tablet down. Let's say I accept this, he said. What's the end game? They need multiple points, I said. 7 minimum for a stable breach. 9 for redundancy. Based on what? Experience. He didn't like that answer. You said in the alley they were measuring you, he pressed. They were. And now? They're mapping load distribution. He stared at me. You're going to have to start using smaller words. I pointed to the map. If they open something large scale, it can't collapse unevenly. They need structural balance. So they're surveying. Yes. And you're the stress test. Yes. His eyes shifted back to the line near my apartment. You're not staying there tonight. I didn't look at him. They haven't breached my place. Yet. If they wanted inside, they'd already be inside. He held my gaze. You don't know that. No, I said evenly. But I know escalation curves. And what does this one say? They're still observing. He leaned back, arms folding. You're not afraid. I met his eyes. Of course I am. That caught him off guard. But fear isn't useful until it changes behavior, I continued. And yours hasn't? It has. How? I stopped pulsing. He nodded slowly. That landed. Okay, he said. So what's tonight's move? I go home. His expression hardened. Absolutely not. They need to see whether I fortify or ignore. So you're bait. I'm variable. That's not comforting. It's not supposed to be. He exhaled sharply through his nose. Call me when you get there. I will. And if something feels wrong? It always feels wrong. Evie. I held his gaze. I'll call. That was the compromise. My building was older than the map admitted. Brick exterior. Narrow stairwell. Hardwood floors that remembered every tenant who'd ever lived there. The hallway light flickered once as I reached my door. I paused, not dramatically, just paused, listened. Nothing. No hum, no pressure, no shift in air density. I unlocked the door, stepped inside, closed it quietly. My apartment smelled like dust and coffee grounds. Normal. I didn't turn on the lights immediately. I let my eyes adjust. Shapes where they should be. Couch, bookshelf, kitchen table near the window. No overturned furniture. No broken glass. No obvious intrusion. I moved slowly, listening with something deeper than ears. The floor creaked under my boots. Familiar. Safe. I stepped fully inside and locked the deadbolt. Then I felt it. Not a hum. Not a thread. A dead spot. Near the kitchen. I walked toward it, each step deliberate. The air didn't feel thinner. It felt insulated. I crouched near the kitchen table. Old hardwood, scratched from years of plates and elbows. My fingers ran along the underside. Wood dust caught in the grooves. Then, there, a carved line, small, precise, shallow. A spiral no larger than a silver dollar, perfectly centered under the table. My table, my space, my habitual sitting position. I sat there every morning. Coffee, silence, routine. The spiral wasn't connected, not active, just carved. Marker. I swallowed slowly. There were no tool marks around it, no splintering. Whoever did this hadn't rushed, hadn't forced entry. I checked the locks, still intact. Windows, sealed. No scuffs on the floor, no disturbed dust near the door. My stomach tightened. They hadn't needed to break in. They'd been here, carefully, quietly. Before tonight. The realization settled in my chest like cold metal. This wasn't escalation. This was confirmation. I pulled my phone from my pocket. It shook slightly in my grip. I ignored it. Liam answered on the second ring. "You're home." "Yes." "You sound..." "There's a spiral carved under my kitchen table." Silence. Then, "Say that again." "It's a marker, about the size of a coin." "How fresh?" "Hard to tell. Clean lines? No oxidation?" "You didn't notice it before?" "No." Another beat of silence. "Are you alone?" he asked. "Yes." "You're sure?" "Yes." He exhaled slowly. "I'm coming over." "No." "Evie, this is what they wanted." "What?" "To see if I panic." "And are you?" I looked at the spiral again, at the precision, at the quiet patience it represented. "No," I said. "Good." "They were here before the second body. You don't know that." "Yes, I do." "How?" "Because tonight was about proximity." "And this?" he asked. "This is calibration before proximity." His silence told me he hated that. "Stay on the line," he said. I didn't argue. I stood slowly. The spiral sat there under the table. Small, harmless looking, like a child's carving. But I knew better. This wasn't a threat. It was a ruler, and they'd just placed one inside my life. I crouched again, studied the carving carefully. It wasn't deep enough to function alone. It would need reinforcement, amplification, activation, which meant it wasn't finished. Good. They were still in the mapping phase, still measuring, still calculating. So was I. "I'm not moving," I said quietly into the phone. "What?" Liam asked. "I'm not moving out." "That's not what I meant." "I know." Silence stretched. Then he said, "You're stubborn." "Yes." "And you're sure this isn't intimidation?" I ran my thumb lightly along the edge of the carving. It didn't hum, didn't react. It just existed. No, I said. It's architecture. That concludes this chapter of Shadows of the Night. If you enjoyed the story, consider subscribing and following the playlist so you don't miss the next chapter. Threshold City still has many secrets left to uncover.